One take, one take. This is NBA One Take. Friction, yours truly, Pretty Boy Lakers. This is NBA One Take for your head. NBA One Take for your brain. Coming to you live from Newburgh, New York. It's NBA One Take, July 21st, 2023. Well, the NBA news. This is a big trade that just happened. Somewhat. And then it happened. Meaning a trade happened, then it fell apart, and now we got it. So the first time we seen this fall apart was it was all buzzing that the Wizards was they was in process of moving Kristaps Porzingis. So then it went across that Kristaps Porzingis was traded in a three-way trade to the Boston Celtics. He goes to Boston. Marcus Morris from the Clippers is going over to Washington, and Malcolm Brogdon is going to the Clippers. Now, when we heard about it, I'm like, oh man, it's big. Porzingis, everything. Then the Clippers did their due diligence and said, oh, Malcolm Brogdon, the hell is this? His medicals came back. When they looked at his medicals, this guy's injured. And when I say he's injured, meaning he was injured in the playoffs in the postseason. Then you guys still played him thinking that he was supposed to be cleared when he wasn't supposed to, and he was still playing. The guy's still injured. They don't even know if he's going to be ready by training camp or into the season. So the Clippers just said, F this, and broke up the deal. Now what that happens is you got a Malcolm Brogdon, who's of everything, he's kind of upset at what's going on. And you got Marcus Morris, who really likes being in LA and loves the Clippers. Now, he is somewhat disgruntled. Porzingis is still in limbo because they told him that a deal was going to be made. And obviously, a deal was made. So now, the deal is Porzingis is going to the Celtics. But Marcus Smart is going to Memphis. And Tyus Jones is going to Washington Wizards. And some pick swaps and things like that's going to be happening. Now, all these Celtics fans, oh man, Marcus Smart. You hear Tommy Heinsohn now from heaven talking about Marcus Smart. This guy's a smart player. I love Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart. He gets the Tommy points and everything like that. And Marcus Smart, the heart and soul of the Celtics for the past 7 years. Remember when he was drafted, and they still had Rondo they had Rondo on the roster. That's when I knew Rondo's days was up. And people was really upset about that. And they found out what type of player you got Marcus Smart as. Guy plays hard, he kind of takes bad shots and everything like that. He was never really a true point guard in that respect. He looks to score, he looks to defend, and he wasn't really a guy that could run the team, set up a team. But he gave it his heart, and he definitely spoke his mind in the locker room as well as to the media. And I think along the line, the Celtics fans started to really love him. Knew what type of guy he was and just loved him no matter what somewhat bone plays he do, some very questionable shot selections and shots, because he thought he was that dude. That was happening in his mind. You can even say the last, one of the biggest play of the year for the Celtics when Derek White made that tip in. Who's taking that crazy shot? It wasn't Tatum. It wasn't Jaylen Brown. It was Marcus Smart. He took that shot from 3 to try to win the game. He took it with the confidence in the world. And for them to lose that, it's really thing. But they get, and that's going to really help Memphis, or everything with Ja Morant, everything like that. You're going to have that guy in there in the beginning of the season, with your team. You can have Bane run the offense. You could probably pick someone else up and things like that. So until Ja get back, I think having Marcus Smart there would be a real good. I think that's why they did it. They did it. They just felt that, having Smart there with Bane and these guys, they should be fine. And I think that was actually a good move on the part of Memphis, even what they had to give up. That was fine. For Washington, they're just trying to blow it up. You know what they're trying to do. They know. New GM, new everything. Everything is in there. So they're gonna clean slate. So their intent is to gather as much assets they can, see what sticks, and then they're gonna work it from there. Porzingis, I'm telling you this, it should work, because he is good when you use him in certain places to get him better, right? So when people talk about the Porzingis and Luka Doncic thing, I understand that, but I told you guys before, Porzingis don't like to be a primary pick and roll guy and pop out for 3. He don't want to be shooting a ton of 3s. When he's forced to do that, then he's almost pigeonholed to do that, especially with his contract and everything else like that. He doesn't really like to do that. He like that pitch post offense on the post. He wants to be a better playmaker. He wants to pitch posts, to do some dribble handoffs and things like that. Work with certain people. He wants to do those things, but I think you don't run too much of those things with him. And I'm gonna tell you, he's really successful at that. But because those is not run for him, is because other people have the ball. Other great playmakers have the ball. So Brad Beal has it, and you have Luka Doncic with it. It's tough. It's really tough for him to think, because these guys is having the ball primarily in the offense, and then he has to really adjust to them, and it's really not helping him as much. And it's sad, but that's how it is. So hopefully they can help maximize Porzingis offensively and do things that makes him feel comfortable, and so he can be able to succeed. Because if that happens, right, the Celtics could go to the final. No matter what, the Celtics is a finals contender. But this deal really helps them. Really helps them. And that's more minutes also for Derek White and other guys like that. That's just going to come in and really step in and step up, because, the Marcus Smart, like you said, the Marcus Smart minutes is gone. So this is really going to help them to succeed. So the Celtics is really extremely dangerous right now, because they get a guy that can shot block, that can score, as well as, he's going to contest stuff at the rim. And he's tall, 7'3". Remember that. And he's a former All-Star, so don't think the stuff you remember. He had a really good season last season. He was the best player on the Wizards next to Kyle Kuzma, who was the second best player. And then they saying, that's why I was saying the thing with Brad Beal. Brad Beal wasn't the best. He wasn't. If you go by the production and the numbers, Brad Beal was the third best player last season behind Porzingis and Kuzma. So that's something to really consider. But I think this is going to be a really good deal if everything works right and Porzingis is used a little bit more to his strengths rather than pigeonhole him to doing what he was been doing in primarily in Washington, as well as what he was doing with the Dallas Mavericks. But this is NBA 1 Takes Pretty Boy Laker, and I am out.